Same. Hi, it's me. This is Alexander Sokolov, and this is the Alahan Temple in Mersin, which definitely deserves your visit. Be careful. It's 4,429 feet above sea level. It's high up in the mountains, and the road is tricky. But trust me, it's worth it. Give it a like. Let's go check it out. Immediately upon arrival, we were asked about our equipment and whether we had a drone. Because, just so, you know, drones are not allowed in the historical sites of Serbs. I don't know why, probably so as not to. Popularize such beauties too much for you. I generally thought that only we, the crazy ones, could climb to such a height along such a road. However, many people want to see such beauty. 4,429 feet. Above sea level, guys, it's breathtaking. And here it is cooler than in the city of mud itself, and naturally cooler than in Mersin. But in reality, the scale is huge. It's amazing.
Alahan Monastery is a 5th century complex of buildings located in the mountains of Isauria, which was part of the ancient Roman province of Cilicia. Right now, we're in southern Turkey in the Mersin Province, near the town of Mut in the village of Gecimli. It's about a 2-hour drive from the city of Mersin along a scenic road. You'll find a link to the location in the info box below the video. Although many sources refer to Alahan as a monastery, this attribution is disputed, and later scholars consider it a pilgrimage sanctuary. The complex played a significant role in the development of early Byzantine architecture, and pretty much everything we know about it can be attributed to the excavations by Michael Gough. The construction of the Alahan Monastery took place over 2 periods. The first took place in the middle of the 5th century during the reign of Emperor Leo I, and the second occurred in the last quarter of the 5th century, under Emperor Zeno. The complex includes 2 churches, rock-hewn rooms, and a baptistery, which is an annex to the church designed as a separate building for performing baptisms. Such a special space was necessary because parishioners were only allowed into the church after baptism. There were also living quarters and many other rooms in Alahan, such as the front courtyard, a necropolis, a bathhouse, and the lower terrace. It will blow you away with its panoramic views of the mountains. There are debates about the original purpose of the monastery, but it nonetheless became a communal living space for monks and those seeking pilgrimage, up until the 7th century AD, after which it was abandoned. After coming to power, Emperor Zeno took on the construction and likely funded the project. The complex is an example of skilled and Isaurian stone masonry. Don't rush during your visit to this place. Take a moment to appreciate the details. You'll discover true masterpieces carved in stone. Alahan is a key site in the history of early Byzantine architecture, dating back half a century before the great achievements of Justinian in Constantinople.
Guys, I don't know if it's allowed or not. Here's the 2nd floor. Here's this iron staircase, and there's nobody around. I was scared to come up, but it's just amazing here. Everything is really well preserved here. Beautiful things. You definitely have to visit.
In the western part of the site, there's a large naturally formed cave about 10 meters high. There used to be many large rooms in it, spread over 3 floors, each a little over 2 meters high. Although it is now almost completely empty, inside the cave complex there is a church measuring about meters. It's believed that the cave church was the first one built in the church and monastery. The Western Church, known as the Church of the Evangelists, is the largest of all the churches in the monastery. Its overall dimensions are 36 by 16 meters. The church is designed in the shape of a basilica with 3 aisles, a central nave, and 2 side aisles. It was built after the cave church, but before the Eastern Church. This is the least preserved of the 3 churches. And the first visitors to this place, they didn't identify it as a church, but as a gateway to the place. The presence of 2 pastopheries proves that this was a church, and the decorations found on its ornate gates point to evangelism. Make sure to take a good look at these gates. Excavations in Alahan uncovered decorations made of sculptural masonry and rich mosaics, which indicates that the church had wealthy patronage in its time. The uneven terrain of the mountains meant that a lot of the slope had to be cut away during construction. Even then, the church plan was adapted to the terrain. As a result, it doesn't have the perfect east-west orientation that was typical for churches of that time. The Eastern Church, located on the far eastern side of the monastery, is the best preserved of all the churches. It's significantly smaller than the Western Church, measuring 23 by 15 meters. It has a basilica design with a tower added to the eastern part of the nave. It is believed that the roof was most likely not made of stone, as almost nothing was found among the rubble during excavations. It was probably made of lightweight wooden tiles. This church is less decorated than the other 2, so it could only be approached from inside the monastery complex. It only has a few small decorations at the entrance. colonnaded walkway, originally covered, connects the western and eastern churches. The walkway also provided access to other buildings in the complex, like the baptistery and living quarters. It also restricted access to the area from the hillside. Down below, thanks to the high support, not on its southern side. There's no evidence to suggest the type of roof that covered the passage. To be continued. To be continued. The two-axial baptistery, or simply put, the font with two passages, is oriented from east to west, with the entrance facing south. The discovery of a cruciform baptismal basin confirms that the building was used as a baptistery. It is believed that it was built as the community in Alahan expanded, as the baptismal font located in the cave church likely served as the original baptistery. Inside the font there is a painting that is not found in the Eastern Church. Perhaps because the artists were no longer present when the Eastern Church was completed. This suggests that there was a significant period of time between the construction of each building. There isn't enough evidence to definitively suggest what type of roof covered the building. As the community grew, the living spaces in the cave complex became too small. Additional living spaces were built between the western church and the baptistery, featuring 4 separate groups of rooms. You could access these rooms through the cave complex and the colonnaded passage. Like plush, right. Like fabric. Amazing. The complex has many other rooms. These include the forecourt located outside the east church and to the north a colonnaded passage, the necropolis. To the west of the forecourt, the tombs of Terraces the elder and the younger, carved into the rock next to the necropolis, are a complex of springs that channeled water around and under the buildings, both to keep them dry and to provide a common reliable source of water. The bath is located far to the east, behind the eastern church, and there's a lower terrace in the valley that was used for agriculture. The Ottoman traveler of Liya Shalebi visited the monastery in 1671 to 1672 I. In his report he expressed his amazement and also commented that it was something worth visiting. I completely agree with him. I have immense admiration and a strong desire to visit this monastery again. Entry is free for visitors, and photography and videography are allowed. Drone flights are prohibited, as is the case in many historical sites in Turkey. If you're in Mersin, make sure to visit the Alahan Monastery.
I hope you enjoyed the trip. Don't forget to rate, like, and comment. And, of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new interesting videos. See you in the next videos. Bye-bye.